My grandfather was 21 when he slipped out of Poland. He carried a single suitcase and a head full of hope. He made his way to the port in Gdańsk and climbed aboard a cargo ship bound for New York. A month after he stepped onto American soil, someone told him about a baby girl in an orphanage in Brooklyn. She was only 2 months old. When my grandfather came to America from Poland, he had nothing but a suitcase and an accent thick as the Baltic. He stepped off the boat at Ellis Island, smelled the salt, and decided this was home. He started shoveling coal in the engine rooms, and by the time the war came around, he was wearing navy blue.
My mom's white, but she grew up in Taiwan, so she's been around black people her whole life. Her neighbors were my uncles before they ever knew me. She rode scooters through Keelung alleyways, went to church potlucks, ball games, all of it. The pictures from back then looked like a Spike Lee movie before Spike was even filming. Most of those—
This right here, Hillcrest Medical Center. If you walk through those doors, go up to the 3rd floor on the east side. That's where I first saw the light of day. I was born here in 1985. Same year the crack epidemic hit America like a freight train. Whole neighborhoods were getting torn apart while my mom was holding a 6-pound baby boy in this building.
The car. Mama drove it, and it always ran hot on us.
David's climbing again.
She'd pull over, pop the hood, and pour a jug of water straight in. Never complained. That black Chevy got us everywhere we needed to go.
Number still feels like the highway sign we followed the first time I ever saw the ocean, Pensacola Beach. My mom packed us into the old wagon and let me ride shotgun. No GPS back then, just this big crinkly map. I traced the red line with my finger and told her where to turn, feeling like the captain of a ship.
Right about here, sweetheart?
That's it. And then
When I was a kid, we used to walk right up here to Nafis. We scrape together a few dollars and get us a pork link sausage or maybe a slice of that pork Simple Simmons pizza. Man, it hit different back then. Hot, smoky, cheesy, nothing in the world tasted better than me.
Back in the day, I couldn't walk past this place. As soon as I hit the block, that smell would jump out the window at you. Fresh bread, warm and sweet, like it was calling my name. You catch that, you had to stop. You had no choice. I step inside, let the heat wrap around me. This is where my mom would take us to swim at McClure. We packed sack lunches with the food stamps. We had a whole book of them. She'd tear one out, trade it for bologna and white bread, a bag of chips, maybe a couple little juices. We sit right over there and eat before our suits even dry. Then back in the water till our fingers wrinkle like raisins.
Mom's white, but from the time we were little, she made sure we knew who we were. Every night at that kitchen table, she'd open up these big old books about our people, about Tulsa, about Harriet Tubman, Malcolm, Frederick Douglass. She'd say, this is where you come from. This is your story, too. She didn't let us forget it. She told us the ugly parts and the— Muhammad Ali here at Walt Whitman Elementary. My granny stayed right across the street, right there. And every time we visited her, we ended up over here, running around this playground. I swear I can still hear us daring each other to jump off the swings, sliding down that blue slide like we were trying to touch the clouds.
As long as I can remember, something in me just kept saying it out loud. Ralph was in the house, but he wasn't my dad. I knew it. It was like my soul knew.
I could feel it.
I told her over and over, she hushed me, tell me not to talk like that. But I kept saying it because it was the truth I could take. Growing up, we didn't have proper basketball gear. No clean gym, no glass backboard, just an alley in our imagination. We nailed a busted milk crate to a pole and called it a hoop. The ball hardly held air, so we wrapped it in tape just to keep it alive. My shoes had more holes than leather, but they still had to run. To get our shoes from Payless. For my first championship game on turf, my mom took me there and we found these black cleats on the buy one, get one rack. I tied them tight and I was running so fast up the sideline in warm-up, she would have thought I was starting. But I never even got in the game. We still won. The line lit up over left field this year at the Tulsa Drillers ballpark. When I was 8, I had it all planned out. I was going to marry my 2nd grade teacher, Miss Garner. She had this kind of laugh that made you think recess already started. Only problem was she was already married to the center fielder, Timmy Morrow. When I was in the 3rd grade, I had my very first piano recital right here at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center. I remember the stage feeling enormous, those red curtains, the lights blinded me. My feet could barely reach the pedals. Mom and Dad were out there in the dark somewhere.
Okay, this park is no longer here, but it was Springdale Recreation Center where we went to day camp. It's also where I learned karate and I broke my first board. Used to be our little world of summer. We'd run out of those doors with water balloons, soaked from head to toe.
Right here is Nettie Park. Growing up, this is where we played baseball at. We learned how to swing, how to field, how to be teammates. On these fields, we figured out more than just a game. And it wasn't just baseball. You could see the hoops, the kids running drills. We grew up as well-rounded athletes here in Tulsa. Everybody would meet up at the Admiral Twin to watch movies and hang out with family. Nobody was fussing or fighting, all getting along.
Pass me some, Dad.
Here you go.
It's getting good.
Folks bringing food, kids running around, laughter everywhere. Felt like the whole town was kin.
My first middle school was Hamilton. It's an elementary school now, but every brick still feels the same. Back then, we were the Hamilton Falcons. And, by the way, nobody beat our 7th graders. They went undefeated in basketball. Fly high, Falcons. Many steps I used to count up this hill when I was a kid. At the top sat what we all called the castle, the Philbrook Museum. Every summer it opened its doors to us for camp. Down in the cool studios, we learned pottery. Hands in the clay, learning the center, to pull a wall, to listen to the spin of the wheel. In the 7th grade, I went to Edison Preparatory School.
Middle school and high school sharing the same campus. It felt huge at first. You'd walk the same hallways, squeeze through the same locker rows, sit in the same bleachers. The older kids, they showed us how to carry ourselves.
Growing up, I served as an acolyte in this church right here on 36th Street North and Martin Luther King. Every Sunday morning, I pulled on that white robe, held the torch in my hand, and lit the candles before the service started. And let me tell you something, you are not from North Tulsa if you didn't stop by Gibbs and grab you some lemon heads or some Boston baked beans. That's just how it is. These right here, the lemon heads. Bright yellow box, sweet and sour, had us puckering up on the school bus, and boom, Boston baked beans. Crunchy peanuts in that candy coat every ball game, every Friday night. If you know, you know.
Tulsa Housing Authority. Folks on Section 8 come here to get placed. You sit in that lobby with a number in your hand, waiting on your name like it's the lottery. Forms, interviews, years on the list just to get a roof you can afford. And when you finally get that key, half the time it's a place like this. Cabinets falling apart, roaches crawling out. Town Square. Folks in T-Town know the name. Some of the most notorious Section 8 live in this side of the river. Built back in the late 70s. Brick walls thin as paper. Doors patched and repatched. You hear arguments through the halls, dogs barking, sirens in the night, but behind the stories is still home. It's Chamberlain Park. The rec center's right behind me. Ball field's over there. And the playground across the way. In the daylight is chill. Folks walking dogs, kids on the swing. But when the sun slips down, the vibe changes. Fights, cars creeping. I don't care to be around for that. I won't set foot here after dark. Cleveland Middle School, that's where I spent my 8th grade year. Walking in, it felt like stepping into a whole different league. Everybody looked grown. Boys with mustaches, girls with car keys on their belt loops. We were 13, but you wouldn't have guessed it. Back then, I was just trying to keep up. Little fade, collar shirt. Walking up to these doors again brings me right back. This was our gathering place after school. We used to push them open like we owned the world. I can still hear the crack of the ball, the squeak of the old swings, when life was nothing but summer and scraped knees. I mean, it's OSU Medical Center. This is the first place I was ever put in a straitjacket. Back in 1999, cold towel, fluorescent hum, and 2 staff members wrapping me in heavy canvas. The straps pulled tight, my arms disappeared. Suddenly, I was still for the first time. And it's the Shell store. Back in my day, I could put $5 in my gas tank and it would last all week. Look at it now, $4.79 a gallon. $5 won't even get me off the lot. I remember pulling up in my old Cutlass, sliding a 5 across the counter. Pump would click full, and I drive all over town till Friday, still with a little left. This is where it all started. Freshman year, I spent a month in here. Year 2000. So right here, this ankle monitor. This was my whole life that first year. I was on house arrest from the first week of 9th grade until finals. They let me come to school, but then it was straight home. If I even stopped for fries, they called my mom. It beeped if I went past the porch, and the red light never stopped blinking. Everybody skipped school just to come to my house. They jumped that little stone wall, dropped their backpacks on the porch. Inside it was like a clubhouse. Controllers clicking, somebody always laughing. And me, I was right there in the middle. I didn't have to go looking for anybody. Grades, game stats, the way that I should be, the things I was supposed to live up to. My family meant well. Love was never the problem, but the pressure, it sat on your chest like a cinder block. You start thinking if you don't hit those marks, you're letting everybody down. I remember my very first job at McDonald's when I was 15. I started out back there flipping hamburgers, trying not to burn them. A couple of months later, they moved me up to the cash register. I thought I was big time. And every single morning, right around 6, the older folk would wander in. Same table by the window, same cups of coffee. Right here is the tag agency on Mohawk Street. This is where I'm getting my name change done. Morning, I'm here to change my last name from Landrum to Hishaw.
Absolutely. I'll just need your ID and the order paperwork.
Got them right here.
Perfect. Give me a minute. Here's your new license, Mr. Hishaw.
Look at that, all official. When Landrum came out Hishaw, shout out to the folks in here.
Keep that chest low. Power through.
Come on, push. Right around noon, we rolled up to Ted's. You could tell from the parking lot it was going to be busy. Everybody in town was craving the same thing. We grabbed a table, baskets hit the wood, and it smelled like pure comfort. Just look at that char. Cheese melting over the edges, lettuce still crisp, exactly how a lunch burger's supposed to be.
Never thought I'd be shaking your hand like this, man.
Me neither. Feels good though, doesn't it?
Yeah. We used to be at each other's throats every time we crossed paths.
Time changes people. We grew up, figured out there's more to life than holding grudges.
I'm glad we did. Sitting here, drinking coffee, playing chess. This feels right.
Early in the season, it's about more than wins. We're working on feel, getting everyone comfortable and connected.
That's it. Good touch.
Conditioning's huge. If our legs go in the fourth, we're done. And we're defining roles. Who handles, who screens, who finishes.
14 on the reset. New rule.
Wait to the trials this morning. Sun just coming up. Feels like every mile I'm driving, I'm right back on those crack courts of Tulsa. I remember little me, jersey 2 sizes too big, hawk stitched across the chest, thinking I was the fastest thing alive. We didn't have much, but we had heart. When that layup dropped, the whole park went crazy. Hey, listen up, I got a story for y'all.
Even when I was a little kid, 5, 6 years old, this orange ball was everything to me. We didn't have a hoop, just an old milk crate nailed crooked to the telephone pole. I'd be out there till the street lights came on, fingers numb, still trying to bank in one more. People said I'd grow out of it. I never did. That was the score the first time I ever got cut from a team. They blew us out, and I thought I was done. I went home, sat on the porch, and my dad said, you can quit or you can get better. I chose better. I ran hills till the street lights came on. I shot free throws till my arm shook. Next season, same gym, same team, we flipped that score. Listen up, y'all. You want to be great at this game? You want to be the best? It don't start when the lights come on at night. It starts before the sun even thinks about getting up. Every single morning you set that alarm, and when it rings, you decide who you're going to be. Champion or just somebody talking about it. You roll out of bed, you lace up, you get in the gym while the world is still dreaming.
Since we were kids, my best friend and I have been battling on the court. I still remember the first time I finally beat him. Score was 11-9.
You ain't getting past me.
Bet.
Oh, no way.
All right, you win.
Told you.
Still holding that win over me, huh?
Of course. First one counts forever.
And we're still here.
Always, brother. I always had a fear of driving across the bridge to West Tulsa. Something about that deep water under the lights. And then tonight, it made sense. Killer whales jumping right out of the river. Look at that. Jet black rocket shooting through the moonlight. Makes you hold your breath the whole way.
High school basketball tryouts is already a grind. But imagine trying to make the team when your mama doesn't know a thing about hoops and she's more worried about you knowing how to play with dolls and how to play defense. That's a whole different uphill run. These boys come in here dribbling fine, but at home they're being taught how to braid plastic hair and change little dresses. None of that helps you finish a layup with contact. And drinking and basketball don't mix. Let me show you what I mean. I try to dribble with a beer in my hand and look, I'm spilling. I'm off balance. Take a shot, clank. Coordination's gone before the buzz even shows up. Now watch the difference. Water in the tank, both hands free, mind clear. Bang, net only. The game demands focus. Fast feet, quick read, steady hand. See this? Basketball in one hand, cigarette in the other. They don't belong together. The game needs lungs like bellows, but this thing drains them. Try sprinting with smoke in your chest. Can't breathe, can't finish the run. That's why I quit. When I dropped the smoke, my game lifted. Everybody, it's me, 6'8", always. And this right here,
The upgrade.
I'm his exact copy. Call me the clone.
AI put all my DNA, my voice, my memories into this dude. We match top to bottom, beard to tattoo. Same height, same smile.
And we're taking y'all through T-Town, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Follow us.
Founded in 1836, Tulsa was originally a small trading post called Tulsa Townsite along the Arkansas River. Merchants and Creek families met there to barter furs, tools, and cloth beneath the cottonwoods by the water. From a handful of log cabins, the settlement slowly...
In Tulsa traces back to the Muskogee, or Creek people. When their families moved west, they brought a name with them, Tallahassee, sometimes written Tallahassee. In the Creek language, it simply means Old Town. Those settlers used it for the community they founded along the Arkansas River, and over time, the spelling shifted to Tulsa. So
In 1905, just north of downtown Tulsa, black families carved out a neighborhood of their own. They called it Greenwood. With the doors of the city closed to them because of segregation, they built their own banks, theaters, newspapers, and corner stores. Block by block, the avenue came alive. And
North Tulsa, particularly the Greenwood District, was once a thriving hub of black entrepreneurship, culture, and wealth. The community became so successful that people called it Black Wall Street. In the early 1920s, more than 600 black-owned businesses lined these streets. Stores, theaters, hotels, bars. 1942, more than 200 black-owned businesses lined these blocks of Greenwood. Barbers and cobblers, law offices, grocery stores, cafes and theaters. Every storefront pulsed with life and enterprise. For another decade and more, the district thrived. Families here built wealth, sent kids to college, filled churches on Sunday in the dreamland. On May 31st, 1921, a white mob descended on Tulsa's Greenwood District, Black Wall Street. They looted homes and businesses, set fire to churches, and shot residents in the street. By the time the smoke cleared, as many as 300 black men, women, and children had been killed.
we're standing in the heart of Tulsa's Greenwood District, once called Black Wall Street. The mural behind me is a window into a thriving community that was built right here. One of the visionaries was O.W. Gurley. In 1906, he purchased 40 acres of land and opened a rooming house that welcomed black settlers heading west. Another was J.B. Stratton.
Smoke cleared, Greenwood looked like the end of the world. Ashes were dreams that stood. But the people who built this place did not walk away. Within days, families came back. They sifted through rubble, salvaged bricks, and started again. Neighbors raised walls together, reopened shops, painted new signs.
This is Mount Zion Baptist Church here on North Elgin in Tulsa. In 1921, when the Greenwood District was set on fire during the massacre, almost every house of worship was reduced to ashes. Mount Zion was the one church that stayed standing. Its walls were scorched, its roof gone.
Every summer, this place comes alive. The Greenwood Cultural Center becomes the heart of Tulsa's Juneteenth Festival. It's where drums call the community together, where kids get their faces painted and the air smells like smoke and sweet sauce. You'll find elders dancing, history on display inside.
North of downtown Tulsa stands John Hope Franklin Reconciliation Park. Opened in 2011, it remembers those lost in the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre and calls for healing. At its heart rises the Tower of Reconciliation, bronze panels wrapping the stone with stories of enslavement, freedom.
When you walk under that arch, you're stepping into more than a neighborhood. You're entering a story about pride, enterprise, and survival. Greenwood was built by us, for us, and it still beats like a heart.
I tell my son this place is proof that
I grew up hearing Woody Guthrie's songs echo across Oklahoma. They were about real folks, their work, their hope, their grit. To me, they were more than music, they were history. Keeping that alive became my calling. Here we collect his letters and guitars. Right behind me, tucked into the old Tulsa Union Depot, is a treasure for anyone who loves the music that shaped this state, the Oklahoma Jazz Hall of Fame. Inside, the stories and sounds of Oklahoma jazz and blues spill from every corner. Cases glow with instruments that once filled dance halls. Like, you know, my city has miles of underground tunnels, and you can tour them, like today, right here downtown. This door behind me is one of the entrances. We're in the historic Field Cave building. Follow me. These passages were built in the 1920s, so oil tycoons could move between banks and hotels without crossing busy streets. Now they're open to the public. Some of them still have the original bank vaults like this one. Downtown Tulsa hides a little acoustic secret. They call it the center of the universe. Stand right here on this brick circle, and your voice bounces straight back at you, louder than you sent it. Watch this.
Hello.
Hello.
That's wild. Let me try. Hi there.
Error. Oh my gosh. Nobody outside the circle here. Look at this. We come a long way from where we used to be. Back then, it was just sidewalks and long walks. Now, we can hop on one of these, glide through downtown, feel the wind, see the whole city in minutes. It's wild how far we come. Now we can ride these scooters downtown like it's nothing.
Right here is the bus station in Tulsa, Oklahoma. These kids nowadays don't know anything about riding a bus. My parents showed us how to do it. I'm just doing what they did, making sure the next ones get where they're going.
Look, you can't mention Tulsa, Oklahoma without bringing up Turley. It's right up the road, but it's got its own vibe. Tulsa stays busy, skyscrapers, traffic, all that city noise. But when you cross into Turley, everything slows down. You trade the concrete for pasture. Out here, you'll see horses.
In 1950, at a dangerous corner in downtown Tulsa, a local police officer had an idea that would change how America drives. Clinton Riggs planted this keystone-shaped sign at First and Columbia. It simply read, "Yield right of way." The result, accidents at the intersection dropped to zero.
Tucked into the side of a hill on Charles Page Boulevard in Tulsa, the cave house looks like it was sculpted by the wind itself. Its address is 1623 Charles Page Boulevard, and since the 1920s, it has been one of the city's most unusual homes. Built in 1924, this little...
Did you know that the movie The Outsiders was filmed right here in Tulsa?
This little house behind me, yeah, the Curtis brothers place in the film, is now the Outsiders House Museum. It got restored and packed with props, costumes, and photos from the set.
Francis Ford Coppola shot the whole thing around this neighborhood back in '82, and it still feels like...
Spring of 1901, a well just outside Tulsa roared to life. Thick black crude sprayed into the morning air, proof that vast reserves lay beneath the prairie. Within months, wooden derricks crowded the horizon and fortunes were being made overnight. Word of the strike rippled around the world. Families and fortune seekers poured in by rail. Italians.
People have no idea that Tulsa once supplied the world's oil. Right here, where this giant driller stands, was the bullseye of a global energy boom. In the early 1900s, gushers like Glenpool and Red Fork poured out so much crude that by 1907, half of the oil sold anywhere on Earth passed through Tulsa.
In 2021, right here in Tulsa, something powerful opened its doors. Greenwood Rising is more than a museum. It's a promise to remember and to rise. Inside, the stories of Black Wall Street come alive, the brilliance, the devastation, and the rebuilding that follow. The center honors fighters in
Just northwest of downtown Tulsa sits a place where the landscape changes with every season. The Tulsa Botanic Garden is 170 acres of color, water, and sky, an always blooming escape. In spring, thousands of tulips paint the hillside. Summer brings concerts on the lawn and quiet walks by the lake.
On Riverside, Tulsa's got a $465 million gym, The Gathering Place. It's 26 acres of pure creativity built for everybody. You've got wild pieces of play equipment like these giant herons, rope bridges. Kids can spend all day in here and still not touch it all. Families picnic, skate, catch sunsets. There's art.
The University of Tulsa is one of the colleges here in the city. Most of our parents will never make it to a campus like this. It's an international school and a private school. But that doesn't mean we can't stand outside these gates, look in, and know what's possible. Inside, kids from all over the world share ideas. And
Roberts University is one of the religious colleges here in the town. They've got this huge bronze sculpture of praying hands standing out front. You see it long before you pull into the campus. The size, the detail, the way the sun hits that metal is something you don't forget.
We're at the Tulsa Zoo, a place with a huge variety of animals. You can check out flamingos, giraffes, elephants, red pandas, even sea lions. There's something different around every corner, but my favorite is the gorilla. Look at this big guy. Powerful and calm at the same time. Just 66 ran 2,448 miles from Chicago to Los Angeles. Right in the middle, Tulsa was a major stop. Travelers gassed up at Art Deco stations, ate barbecue and pie, and cruised past oil derricks and neon motels.
In Tulsa, the Arkansas River Corridor improvements are transforming our riverfront. The aging zinc dam is being replaced with a modern structure that tames the river while creating playwaves and safe passage for fish and paddlers. A striking new pedestrian bridge is rising, giving walkers and cyclists a front row view of the water.
Right here on the west side of the Arkansas River is Turkey Mountain, a natural area with miles of rugged trails for hiking and mountain biking. It's a whole forested ridge just minutes from downtown Tulsa, where you can lose the city and get into the woods. There are color-coded loops for every level. Red for beginners, blue and yellow when you want to stretch it out.
Across Riverside Parkway from the River Spirit Casino, a new chapter for South Tulsa is about to begin. It's called Riverline, 37 acres of riverfront ground transforming into a walkable district. Think locally owned shops, cafes, and kitchens serving up fresh flavors. Hundreds of modern apartments with rooftop.
This place, the Reed Community Foundation. When my kids start getting a little out of line, this is where we come. It's not about punishment. It's about showing them what discipline looks like. Early mornings, hard work, respect. Hands up, chin down. Good. Pop it out.
Yes, sir.
Coach Reed and his crew aren't just teaching punches.
You wanted a turkey leg falling off the bone? You go to tailor-made turkey legs. Straight out of the smoker, slow and steady, just the way we like it. Look at that. Bone slides right out. Tender, juicy, full of flavor. That's tailor-made. Tailor-made turkey legs.
If you had a need for speed, come out to Tulsa Raceway Park. This is where people spend thousands of dollars on their motors just to race for one night. You can hear the turbo spin, smell the race fuel, feel the concrete shake. When that tree drops, it's nothing but raw horsepower down this quarter mile. 9 seconds of chaos.
Friday night, you already know where I'm at. Retros, lights on, parking lot full, music thumping. You step inside, floors jumping, DJ got it moving, and it's nothing but smiles.
What you get?
Wings and a burger. Can't beat it.
Kitchen to the club, everybody will roll here to the chicken shack. Show the rides off, let the music breathe a little, and get your plate of fish and chicken before heading home.
You already know, catfish and fries, can't beat it.
Man, that batter's crazy. You taste that?
I told you. Best spot in the city, hands down.
Been like this for years. Good food, good people.
Yeah, the Tulsa State Fair would roll into town, and you can see it from miles away, glowing like a spaceship over the prairie. But beyond the cotton candy and neon, I've seen a lot of families sink into debt chasing that thrill. Some folks swipe cards they shouldn't just to keep the kids smiling. And every season, somebody tries to cheat a game.
That's the BOK Center in downtown Tulsa. Caesar Pelly drew it like a ribbon of glass and steel, a sweeping curve that catches the Oklahoma sky. In the daytime, it sparkles. At night, it glows like it's breathing. Step inside and the concourse opens up. Wood ceilings, sunlight.
The AMC theaters, you know. This is where we come to let life slow down a little bit. Grab some popcorn. Watch a story bigger than ourselves. Whole lobby smells like popcorn. Lights shining like a carnival. You get you a big soda, find your seat, and the world just pulls back. You sink into these seats.
It's the address, the spot that turns a gas station into a club after midnight. You can fill up, slide out before the screen even blinks paid, or you can meet somebody that'll change your life. Me, I came for both. Nice ride.
Thanks. Yours growls like it's hungry.
It is. Let me feed it and get your number while I'm at it.
The Tulsa County Courthouse. This is where people get life sentences and where people get their marriage certificate. Why they want to put the government in their marriage, I don't know. But we do. Here in Tulsa, we got a page called Tulsa Mugshots. Everybody follows it. Scroll it for a minute, you'll see what I mean. They post every arrest in the county, names, charges, the whole picture. And folks start liking, laughing, sharing it like it's the nightly news. So when you end up in this building behind me, before the flash from the camera even fades, somebody's already uploading it. This right here, it's the Four Corner Liquor Store. I used to post up right there by that cone. That's where I met my brother Chicago.
That's good, man. You straight?
He walked out of that door like he owned the block.
Here, little man. Hold that. Stay up. Appreciate you, big bro.
He didn't just buy his bottle and bounce. He blessed the game. Looked out for folks.
In Tulsa, a drive-by outside a taco stand leaves a young father dead.
Homicide detectives have 48 hours to find the shooter before the trail goes cold.
They're childhood friends, but one of them is already talking. Marquez says you pulled the trigger.
He lying? I ain't pull no trigger.
Then tell me who did.
I ain't trying to die in here. Rico shot Jarrell.
This right here, this is our jail, the David L. Moss. We're in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You see the sign? You see those flags? It ain't a game. Look at that razor wire. Cameras on every corner. We'll tell on our own mothers before we step in here, you hear me? Nobody wants these doors closing behind them, so we burn cold barbecue tucked along the Jinx Riverwalk. Out here, the smoke rolling off the pits draws people in from all over. Folks talk about their whole menu, but the ribs and the brisket, that's what puts this place on the map. Look at that color. Sweet glazed peppery bark and that rosy smoke ring and the
Welcome to McKinnon's. For almost 30 years, we've been Tulsa's go-to for a proper Irish pint and a plate that sticks to your ribs. 60 taps, half of them pouring imports from Dublin to Donegal, the rest local craft. Every glass gets that slow, creamy pour. And the fish and chips, flaky cod in a beer batter, fries crisp.
It was just named one of the top 50 new restaurants in the country. And the moment you walk up to that glowing sign, you get why. Inside, the wood fire works overtime, kissing ribeye and vegetables with mesquite smoke.
Chef Hernandez builds tacos the way you'll find them in Mexico City. Rich pork, pineapple.
Downtown Tulsa, you'll find the Chalkboard Kitchen and Bar. It's praised for a French-American fusion menu that keeps locals talking and travelers coming back. Mornings here smell like butter and espresso, flaky croissants, silken lattes, and eggs Benedict crowned with glossy hollandaise. When the sun goes, crave steak done right, there's a place in Tulsa that sets the bar. Mahogany Prime Steakhouse is where prime Midwestern beef meets refined hospitality.
Every cut is custom aged in-house to the peak of tenderness and flavor. Seared over high heat to a crust that locks in its juices, finished simply with butter and a touch of rosemary. And when you want to...
At Amelia's, everything starts with the fire. Pecan and oak give every cut its own character. This season, we're working with bison ribeye, charred citrus, winter greens, simple ingredients, coaxed into something special.
Enjoy, folks.
Wood fire bison.
Juniper, my go-to when I want dinner to feel like an occasion. The place is tucked off the street, all warm wood and soft light, and it smells like baked bread and searing steak the moment you walk in. They do contemporary American, but through a tasting menu that changes with the seasons. 5 courses if you're in a hurry, 9 if you're...
In the heart of downtown, tucked between old brick warehouses and new lofts, there's a place where the evening breeze smells like allspice and charcoal. Ciceroos has been bringing a taste of the islands to the city for years, and tonight, I'm treating myself. Their jerk chicken comes off the grill lacquered in a smoky sweet glaze, resting on rice and peas.
Nolan's is a local favorite on Cherry Street. If you're after real deal Cajun and Creole, this is where folks point you. The place hums with jazz and the smell of spices. Their shrimp and cheese grits are the star. Plump Gulf shrimp tossed in house Cajun seasoning, seared until they pop. The grits are creamy, loaded with smoked Gouda, and finished with a buttery...
Just off the square, the Hemingway glows in the evening like a promise. Inside, the wood, the chandeliers, the leather booths, everything has this warm, timeless feel. Whenever people ask where to get a great steak in town, I send them here. The ribeye comes out with that perfect crust and a rosy center, the kind you can't help but photograph before you dive in. Burn Cold Barbecue, tucked along the Jinx Riverwalk. Out here, the smoke rolling off the pits draws people in from all over. Folks talk about their whole menu, but the ribs and the brisket, that's what puts this place on the map. Look at that color, sweet glaze, peppery bark, and that rosy smoke ring, and the...
Aunt Rita used to work at Wilson's Barbecue. She'd be back there by the pit all day, smoking her hair, working those tongs like a conductor. Before she clocked out, she'd pack a couple of plates to go for us. There was a sign on the wall that said,
You need no teeth to eat our beef.
She'd always repeat it when she handed me the bag.
You need no teeth to eat our beef, baby.
Best
Tulsa, Oklahoma, the real Black Wall Street. A place where black excellence bloomed in the red dirt, where businesses, music, and dreams stacked high as the skyline. Then one night, fire tried to erase it. But you can't burn the spirit. You can't silence the people. Today, their legacy lives.